I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
And now, here's the veteran voice of the legal fix, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Lone Star State in Montgomery County, Texas, for a brand new episode of the Legal Fix, a new age radio show presented by the Tuff Law Firm, the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around, answering your toughest legal questions. Introducing first, hosting out of the red corner, the big deal, Bruce Tolson. Tough, joined by Boy Wonder, Brandon Scott Riley, and super lawyer, G.I. Jerome, the Golden Boy, Jeremy Lee Hall.
Oh man, thank you, Bruce Buffer. Wow, thank you. I'm the big deal, Bruce Tuff. I'm here with Boy Wonder, Brandon Riley, and Golden Boy, Jeremy Lee Hall. We're also joined by Cortland Pettigrew and Taint Merchant, who is lurking nearby. And before we start our show,
Taint Merchant. Sitting right there. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Taint himself.
Merchant.
Yeah. Hey, before we start, I got big news. Madison Colleen Tuff got married to Clay Maggard Memorial Day weekend. I just got back from Nashville, Tennessee.
Wait, so y'all had what there?
Glorious
Glorious
wedding.
Glorious wedding. Hey, how do you spell?
Cool.
How do you spell Maggard?
Maggard.
How many people did you meet for the first time when you got there?
I met all of his family for the first time.
How many approximately?
I met David, his father. I met Lynn, his mother. I met Britta, his sister. I met.
Is she a water purifier?
That's 3.
Kylia. Is what?
Hey,
there's me dancing the first dance. I shed a tear. I was crying.
Your skirt looks a little short. I don't know
Brooklyn
if that means
whatever blows your squirt up. Is that Pitbull? Did he perform?
Captain Clay.
Pitbull.
Yeah,
Pitbull performed.
Captain Clay Maggard. Look at him with Madison. Isn't he wonderful?
Oh, it's Maggard.
Hey, everybody was in military uniforms.
Was
all the groomsmen.
Was the food a vaz up or Ish don't think so?
It was vaz up.
It was vaz up.
What was your proudest dad moment?
I think seeing her for the first time. When I walked, I thought I was going to hold it together, but when I walked up to walk her down the aisle, she looked at me, I looked at her, we started crying together, and then I pulled it back together, and then I saw Megan, her matron of honor, she started crying, I started crying. I was like waterworks.
What was your most aggravating moment of the weekend?
There wasn't any.
No aggravation.
No.
Who had the most embarrassing moment?
Honey Badger left me in somewhere in Nashville at the Dream Hotel in some cabaret bar after my third tequila shot, and then I said, "Where are you?" And she goes, "At the hotel." And I go, "What hotel?" So she said, "My hotel." And I said, "Your hotel? Who's got the car?" She goes, "You do. You can take it back." I go, "Right."
Chauffeur service. Sounds aggravating.
Who was trying to get rid of you?
Who had
the most embarrassing moment?
Who had the most embarrassing moment?
I don't think there was one.
No embarrassing
moment? You couldn't
moment?
be embarrassed.
Who had the best dance moves?
Ricardo.
Biggest crier?
Biggest crier, Bruce. And Madison.
Did anybody trip?
Trip. We were playing that song where, the Dirty Dancing song at the very end of the movie where you do the show. So when someone tripped on that, almost fell into the band. Yeah.
Were there any other surprises?
Any surprises?
No other surprises.
Somebody come out of a cake or anything like that?
No.
Did anyone get truck sticked on the bouquet or garter toss?
No.
In
fact, I don't even remember them doing that.
Yeah.
He missed it. You called that tequila.
They had that and I missed it.
Anyone get ejected? Yellow cards, penalty boxes.
Any penalty box?
No ejection, but we had so much booze left over because I restocked the booze. I left it with Caleb and Britta, and they were like, "What do I do with this?" They loaded their whole truck.
Water purifiers.
Did you see any couples arguing?
No, I don't think so.
Everybody was happy. Wow.
If you had a one-time flush button, which guest would you have flushed down the
flush?
I have to always say Cody, but no, I love Cody. Cody's the best. He was the greatest.
Wait, is Cody the lipper?
No, Cody's
Which is
Cody's
Cody?
my brother-in-law, the younger
Oh, yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Did you
Right.
run out of wine and pray Jesus repeat his first miracle?
Never ran
Wedding
out
at
of wine.
Canaan?
No
You did?
wine and no
Which
wine
guest
and beer.
drank the most?
Who had the most drinks?
Who drank the most?
I think Lieutenant Nick Reeves,
Nick
who is my
Reeves.
nephew,
Shout out
Bruce
Nick Reeves,
Tuff,
pounding it.
Jeff Reeves. I
Who-
think in that order.
who unexpectedly
Tony
took
Payton.
charge?
Tony was there. The Rocket
Oh,
Man.
Rocket
Tony
Man
was
was there.
Tony.
Rocket Man.
Tony did have. We were
pounded
matching
a
him.
few?
Yeah, he had
Nice.
some. He had his magic.
Who
jungle
unexpectedly
He surf
took charge?
pounded.
Who stepped up in a moment of need?
juice. Moment of need. Moment of need. Cody did. Everybody did.
Everybody
Cody, Diana.
Oh,
took
badge.
She took
Okay,
care
so
of
if
the
you
bride.
had, so speaking of Diana, if you had one honey badger shutdown token, when would you have used it?
on her.
An
Well,
immediate
the night
badge neutralization.
Okay, the
Shut
night-
down.
The night
Not at
she-
the cabaret, but
okay,
anywhere else.
No, we're at the
Zonked.
hotel. I have a suite, so we're all partying in the suite, and she's talking with her two friends till 2 in the morning, and I wanted to go to bed because I knew I had to repeat it the next day.
Yeah.
it was
Shut
brutal.
down.
Yeah.
Mustache report. How many mustaches? Who had the best one? Mustache roll
mustaches.
call.
Oh,
we know
man.
what's her name's boyfriend. Amber's boyfriend has the little
Yeah,
pencil.
I don't know who had the best
Ariel's
mustache.
boyfriend.
Ariel's
Yeah,
boyfriend has a
yeah,
little spider
okay,
stash.
okay.
Any other stashes?
No,
other
there's
stashes?
several. They were rocking a lot. Yeah,
Who
but
did
the army
you
guys
hardly
were clean,
recognize?
clean shaved.
Who changed the most?
Who had the most
Who,
change?
who gained the freshman 50?
You know who's gosh, who was it that changed the most? There were several
Evidently
people
they
that I hadn't
aged.
seen in a while that
Yeah,
changed.
that looked
old
They
AF.
were,
Yeah.
Well, I saw
Man, you look old
Rose and
AF.
Mark's son, Philip, and his wife Catherine, and their kids I hadn't seen, and they're wonderful.
On a
So,
scale
it's beau- it's
of
beautiful
1
kids.
to hillbilly, how do you rate
Mountain
the in-laws?
hillbilly.
How do
Mountain
I
hillbilly.
1 to what?
1 to hillbilly.
Mountain
How do you-
hillbilly. 1 to mountain hillbilly.
How do you rate the in-laws?
The in-laws, I rate them high. They're great.
Okay,
They're
all
wonderful.
the way to hillbilly.
Actually, no, they
Straight
are
up.
no.
They're
the
mountain
mountains
hillbilly.
of Kentucky, and they are a blast. And I was so wonderfully pleased to meet everybody.
New fam.
And Lynn is amazing, and David.
So you like the
was there.
in-laws?
Yeah, I love
Okay,
the
last
in-laws.
question.
I love them.
Final
Yeah,
question.
Name one guest you'll probably never see again. Like sayonara forever.
Bon voyage.
C'est la vie.
Okay,
Well,
bye.
Bye, Felicia.
I don't have one
Never
of those.
gonna see you
I don't
again.
have one of those, but I do
Never
want to
gonna
see.
you
I
again.
do want to see Britta and
Was she
Caleb
wicked smart?
compete in the strongman and strong
Oh,
woman.
that's right. You got
Yes,
some strong
I'm
women
gonna
there.
see them.
I
So
love it.
that's-
Okay.
Okay.
You're off the wedding hot seat.
All right, thank you
good.
guys.
You're
Gosh,
welcome.
what a great thing! But it was a wonderful, wonderful time, wonderful weekend. Okay, so look, we're going to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I promised the audience, and everybody's been
Yes.
calling me, and they said, "Hey, you guys have got to do the follow-up and do an evaluation of the trial." So we're going to do that today, and we have our man on the street, our legal fix correspondent, Taint Merchant. Taint's here.
G'day,
Taint.
mate.
Besides the
mate.
bloody photos, what's the Aussie connection with Johnny Depp and Amber
Johnny
Heard?
and Amber were hitched in the Outback, and in 2015 there was a bit of fiasco when Amber Heard tried to illegally sneak her dogs into Queensland. She ended up
Sneaking her dogs
pleading
in.
guilty to falsifying government
Yeesh, don't think
documents.
so.
What was her excuse? Why did
Sleep
she?
deprivation.
We had
she was too
an
tired.
Amber
Did she have
Johnny
too much
card
coke?
on
Is that what
yeah.
happened?
She woke
Perhaps
up like
not
this.
enough.
She woke up like this. Hey, did you know who these guys were before the trial? Are you familiar with Johnny and Amber?
Absolutely not. Well, no, I knew Johnny, but I had never heard of Amber Heard before this trial, pun intended.
Never
I
heard
had
of
to
you.
search her up on the internet, and I found her nudes, actually. And so now it's been 4 weeks now, and I have her poster as Mara from Aquaman in the water closet between the dunny and the mirror.
What's the water closet?
Did he
The
just
Dub
say-
C.
Did he say nude
The Dub
photos?
C.
Is
He
that what
found her nude. She had
oh,
leaked nudes on the internet.
Where do you
and-
find those?
Tasteful.
Yeah, Taint got
Okay.
sidetracked on
Tate.
those.
Oh my God. Okay, let's discuss the trial. Who do you believe, Johnny or Amber?
Taint.
Taint. What do you believe? Who's your
Johnny.
Johnny? Why is that?
Amber seemed like a bit of a loon to me. Her photos looked fake. I didn't really buy them. Filters, angles, that's all they were. I didn't see any real cuts or bruises.
This is what's great about the Legal Fix is that we have the man on the street. He was doing our local corresponding, knew nothing about this trial, did his research, and these are candid observations.
We
for
couldn't,
us.
Well,
we
tell you
couldn't
the
afford to
truth-
send him to Virginia, so he had
Yeah,
to just do it
do it.
local.
Yeah,
Okay.
ask
Tell you the truth, I didn't see much of the trial. I just saw her get go completely ass over tits on cross-examination.
yeah.
She sounded
Is that
crazy.
head over
that-
heels in Aussie?
So,
You're right, mate.
all right, who
Yeah.
were the big winners and losers?
Wow, big winners, Johnny
Huge
Depp, obviously.
winners.
All of the attorneys, Camille Vasquez in particular, got a lot of name recognition. They all got paid, I'm sure. Big losers, Amber Heard. I think she was exposed to the world. She got popped with a $10.4 million verdict, and she has no way to pay.
I didn't buy any.
You know,
of
her
stuff.
attorney won big too, I think.
Yeah, even
Realistically,
Patty Pimblett. She's been there
Miss,
from the jump.
Miss Bredehoft, I think she won big even still.
Yeah.
On a loss like that, she held her own.
And what does she say? She's going to appeal. She's not taking this laying
She
down,
went on,
right?
yeah, she went on to one of the talk shows in New York
No
and
way.
said, we're going to appeal.
You gotta
Stuff was
expect
let
it.
in that shouldn't have been let in, so on and so forth. I don't know that she will, though, because the other reports coming out are that Amber can't pay her fees,
Yeah, but
much less the
stuff that was
judgment.
let
So,
in, she
in
was
order
trying
to appeal, but realistically, in order to appeal without the judgment being enforced against you, she's going to have to put some kind of bond up on it, right?
Can't she
well, if
take
it's here in
uh,
Texas,
she's gonna have
she's
to
gonna
pay
put up
something.
10 mil.
Can't she
if
take a
it's in Texas.
contingency on her
Pay.
next box office hit? The next Aquawoman, you give me 10%.
Yeah, I guess.
That's how
I
attorneys go
guess.
broke.
Yeah.
Ask Michael
Oh,
Avenatti.
Yeah, right.
She
oh,
needs
yeah,
a
who just
loan.
got sentenced, by the
Yeah,
way, a
that's
concurrent
big
sentence.
news. Big news.
Yeah, Stormy
the judge
Daniels,
and the
he-
judge said, "I'm not going to show you leniency because you didn't show her any grace or humility in the trial. You don't get to self-serve and decide when you're going to be humble."
Right, right. Who was the
Crushed him.
back
4
to,
years.
I know. Back
4
to John.
years.
Back to the who won the battle of the lawyers with the
I
Heard and Depp?
think Heard's attorneys just scraped by with the loss.
Okay.
They just barely lost.
Who-
Realistically,
really? Wow.
They
Who was
just barely lost. I think.
who was a compelling witness? Who do you think was the what was the most persuasive evidence?
Can I answer this one? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Let's not
Well,
try to
let,
steal it
what
from
do
let
you
me
think?
talk about the standards of preponderance
Amber
and clear and
Heard-
convincing too.
Yeah. So Amber Heard's assistant, up front, very beginning of the trial, says Johnny Depp was a Southernly gentleman, and Amber spit in my face when I asked for a pay raise.
Whoa.
At that point, if I'm a juryman, I'm done with the case. I've already made up my mind.
Okay.
Amber spit in this woman's face, and Johnny was a gentleman to her and Amber in front of her. I don't believe anything Amber says after that.
Yeah.
Her own assistant says
Yeah.
that about her. That's a problem to
Yeah.
me. And then I love your example. You say if you're looking at a preponderance of an evidence standard, if you had 2 reams of paper and I added 1 piece of paper to 1 ream, that's a preponderance now.
Right.
Jeremy said, don't subtract 1 because then that's 2. It might confuse
Don't take
everyone.
one off the stack
But
and put it on
but
the
you
other
gave
one.
me that example in one of your opening voir dires, and I thought it was voir dire. I thought it was brilliant.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal it for the rest of my life.
Okay. Good.
One
Two
sheet of
reams.
paper,
One
preponderance
sheet of
the
paper
evidence.
on a ream. So
Yeah.
501 pages versus 500.
She
the
defamed
501
Johnny.
wins.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and Johnny defamed her. It went both ways.
But I think it went further, though, because no one's really reporting this. But in order to prove actual malice, it's clear and convincing, so it's a much higher standard. Johnny won on actual malice. Amber did not.
right.
So they believe that Johnny may have not told the truth through his agent, the attorney, but that Amber absolutely lied purposefully on her own accord.
Purposefully to hurt him, and did in fact hurt him.
Yeah, just
Correct.
to follow, the jury found Amber's tweet was more than a mere republication and made a defamatory implication with actual malice. That's
Yeah.
actually from the jury findings.
What's the more than a mere republication? Cortland, you got anything on that? She could have just tweeted out a link to the story, right? But she didn't. She typed something into the tweet. And why was that important?
Well, the important thing with all that's going to come to be whether or not she ended up adopting the statement, which in this case, going the extra effort to actually type it out. You know, it's a little bit more than just liking it or retweeting it. It's, you know, even if it's someone else's words, it's typing it out with your own fingers. In a
Okay.
similar way to just like writing it down on a piece of paper.
Wasn't it her own words, though?
It was the
Technically?
headline of the online edition of the op-ed that somebody at WAPO wrote, and she transcribed letter for letter into the tweet. And that was enough. Like I said, the stars had to align. It had to be the perfect storm for her to be found liable. And typing that headline into the tweet, restating what the Washington Post titled her article, was enough to add to and not merely be a republication.
Legal fix for the day. Don't retype it, just repost it.
Yeah, just share it.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, but we're going to return. We're going to take special correspondent Taint Merchant off the leash, unleashed. And we'll be right back.
I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
One final time, here's the veteran voice of the legal fix, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man.
Thank you, Bruce Buffer. I'm the big deal, Bruce Tuff. I'm here with Boy Wonder, Brandon
Bruce wasn't
Riley,
here
and the
today.
Golden Boy, Jeremy Hall. We're joined by Cortland Pettigrew, who you just heard expand a little bit on legal issues. He's our 3L clerk in our office in South Texas Board of Review, our editor board, right? Editor
Tell
board?
us
for
your
the law
title.
review.
Law Review Board,
editor.
right?
That's a
Moot
big deal.
court,
Yeah.
law review,
Yeah, big deal.
practicing law at the Tough
Yeah.
Law Firm.
Nice
Gonna go
job.
get your early license so you
Yeah.
can try a case
Yeah,
with
we want
us.
you to do
Yes.
that.
What do you not do?
Yeah.
Sleep?
No,
Yeah.
he's a power lifter too. He's a power lifter.
Yeah,
So-
okay, this is super
Yeah.
important, Bruce. I'm
Yeah.
so glad. How many polar bears can you leg press?
I have determined that I am able to leg press one polar bear 8 times.
Yes, sir.
How
Which
much
means-
does a polar bear weigh? on
Anywhere
average?
between 1,200, 300 pounds.
Bears.
1,200,
roos is
1,300? Yeah, how many
Nice.
kangaroos is that?
Uh,
A bunch is the legal answer you're supposed to give.
There we
now,
go.
next question. Just don't hate me for this, but how much do you bench press?
well, I can't say very much right now. I'm
Wheels.
recovering from a shoulder.
What was the last
Injury.
max you
Wheels.
had?
So let's see. Earlier this week on
How many
Tuesday,
wagon wheels?
5 to a side. I tried 535 on bench, but I wasn't able to get it all the way up.
That's
so
a bar
I'm still
bench.
So,
sitting at
ladies, just so you
525.
know, he comes from good stock. His dad played in the NFL, and he is single.
Yeah.
Ready,
There you
ready
go.
to mingle after law review.
And what about Taint Merchant, our legal fix correspondent? How about
Special
him?
correspondent.
All right, so let's go back to our
Yeah,
man on the
yeah.
street, our
Man on the
legal
street.
fix special correspondent, Taint Merton. Tate. Besides the bloody
Tate.
photos, what's the Aussie connection?
Didn't you already talk about this?
Right,
yeah,
we
he talked about
we
this.
discussed this already.
All
Yeah,
right, so
get-
let's discuss the
yeah.
trial. Why did you believe? Who did you believe, Johnny or Amber?
Well, I believe Johnny for aforementioned reasons, mainly due to I didn't buy Heard's testimony.
Yeah.
Okay,
you couldn't
so
hear what
let's.
she
I'll
said.
tell you what.
And
let's
also,
yeah, go
if
ahead.
I can add, Depp is my kind of bloke, right? LA nightclub owner, the Viper Room.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
me, he's been arrested in various locales.
Okay. Okay.
What's the Amber Heard connection with Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, I believe Musk was shagging her.
Yeah? When
I don't
was
know
this?
much beyond that.
Okay. And did she bilk him out of any money?
I believe there are a few millions involved.
Yeah, 500 mil to the ACLU.
Okay, yeah, right. And she pledged a certain amount of money, but she only donated like 500K. So
Yeah.
there's
And it was John.
a huge
it was
discrepancy there.
Elon and Johnny that footed the rest of the bill.
Yeah,
right?
she had Elon put some money up for that.
Crazy quote. I have to read this quote. This is bad, but I have to read this quote. Johnny Depp, in a text message to one of his individuals, said, "Where is it at? Where is
One
it
of his
at?"
individuals.
One of his publicists or other people. He
I
was
like when you
attempting-
do that lead in and then you don't have
And
the
I
quote.
don't have
You
it,
sit
but
there
it's
and
so-
name it, and then we all
but
sit
it's
there
so
and do,
good.
Well,
Tate, what did you
Oh, I
think
can't find
of
it.
Johnny
that's
Depp's
okay.
attorney?
That's
What did you think of
Camille Vasquez.
Yeah.
I liked her. Smart woman. I made a poster of her too.
Okay, you got a poster of her.
Oh,
next
you
to the-
made one.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
you got to
she's-
print one out.
Johnny called her in a text. They made him read it back to himself in open court. A dangling, overused, happy fish market.
oh wow.
And
Oh,
you
wow.
know what he called
Okay.
Elon Musk?
What?
Molluscule? What is it? Mollusk? A mollusk.
A
He
mollusk.
called him a mollusk.
Elon Mollusk. Okay.
Mollusk.
Hey, let's discuss the verdict. $15 million to Depp, $2 million to her. Depp kept $10 million compensatory, but $5 million in punitive was reduced to $350,000, and that's according to Virginia state law, I guess.
Yeah,
so they
so
have
obviously
What happened with that?
Yeah.
it raised the judicially suspicious eyebrow,
Did
as
it?
Kennedy would say.
Ah.
Right. So Virginia clearly has a cap on punitive damages. They don't want them to go out of control, to be in accordance with Supreme Court precedent, and they're never going to tell the jury you can only award $350 in punitive.
Why not? Why are they making them put a big number in and then reducing it?
They want the jury to decide the number on their own. If you said the maximum is $350, the jury may be inclined prejudicially to pick $350 as the number, as opposed to $5, right? So they allow them to pick whatever the number is that they want to pick, unbiased, unprejudiced, and then at that
Immediately
point,
reduce it. I'd be offended
Right.
if I was a juror.
the court at that point gets to act on its own volition to reduce it down by the state requirements.
Was that the missing blank in the test that the jury forgot to fill in?
We don't
they
know
got
for
sent
sure.
back?
I think so, because it's either that or it's for Amber, right? So Amber won on one count of defamation. So either hers was left blank because they didn't want to award her anything, or his was left blank. I don't know. You made a comment that
I think it
he
was
like
his.
played a fill in the blank right then. In that
Yeah,
moment
the
that-
judge was like, "Hey, if you award
foreman.
punitive damages, you got to put a number in here." And the foreman
that
was
what the
like,
judge said,
$5 million.
$5
Okay,
million.
you guys good with $5 million? $5 million? Good. Okay, we
I-
have our
the
answer.
ayes have
we
it,
don't
the
need
ayes
any
have
more
it.
time to deliberate. It's
No.
$5 million.
Do you blame them? I don't blame them. They had how many hours was closing?
Seven jurors reached a unanimous verdict after 13 hours over 3 days of deliberation after a 6-week trial in Fairfax, Virginia.
6 weeks.
What do you
Bruce.
think? What do you think of Amber and Johnny's reactions to the verdict?
I think Johnny's was very nice. I think Amber needs to retreat into a hole and not come out for a little while. She's too much.
Here's her reaction.
She's gonna get more jobs, so she's gonna be okay.
Well, here's her reaction. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. Heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed what this verdict means for other women. It's a setback. It sets us back to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously.
So
No,
so
absolutely not.
she said
Predictable
this-
response.
She said this.
She said
And her
that.
attorney echoed it very closely. One of the echoing points was that a bunch of women have dropped their cases as a result of this verdict.
Whoa.
But Jeremy, I loved what you said. Please just take the floor.
Yeah,
as
it-
relates to
it-
what
it-
Amber Heard said.
It doesn't say that you can't speak up if you're a victim of domestic violence. It just says you can't lie about it.
You can't lie
That's the
about
only
it.
message here. It
So
just says you
maybe-
can't lie about it.
So maybe all those women dropped those charges and those cases because they realized that lying won't get you anywhere.
Finally.
Not
So-
because
Right.
they're afraid. Amber had her day in court, right?
She had her day in court. She
She
had
lost.
2 days in court. She had 6
2
weeks
months
in
in
court
court.
in the U.S. and then a trial in the U.K. She's had plenty of days in
6
court.
weeks.
But Patty Pimblett's claiming that people all over the place are dropping domestic violence lawsuits. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, all 41 of Deshaun Watson's lawsuits are still standing.
Yes.
I think
He
somebody
picked up one, right?
I think
Well,
somebody's
yeah, right.
even
He
filed
picked up
another
another
one.
one.
Yeah. Everybody else
They
dropping
sold-
like flies. Deshaun Watson on the increase.
They must have better photos, right?
Let
that
me
was
ask.
the-
I'm going to
yeah,
ask
yeah,
Tane
the
a
photos.
question. One thing that intrigued me that I caught a little bit about the trial is Johnny Depp's drug use. Did you pick up anything about his drug use, Taint? Know anything about that during the trial?
Addicted to pills and alcohol. Used cocaine and Molly during their marriage.
It's a real marriage booster.
Right.
When I
Yeah.
hear it.
Famously, I think they're both on the cocaine. Right.
Are they?
They're both on
Yeah.
the cocaine.
Right.
Amber seems like it. Someone's
Yeah.
got to explain that irrational behavior.
Right. Famously smoked hash in a Rolling Stone interview.
Johnny Depp lit one up
Hashish.
during the interview, smoking hash. Yeah, it's a big drug user.
Very
Johnny
good.
wins the drug use award.
Okay, what question
Very
did the
interesting.
jury ask, and what did they forget to write in on the verdict? You guys touched about it, so I've
They
got
wrote
that
in
my
the
notes.
$5 million, but what did they ask the judge halfway
Yeah,
through
I don't know.
deliberation?
What
Yeah,
did they?
so this was critical. This happens in Montgomery County, Texas. We've dealt with this, and I think it's so poignant for what we've been through. The jury asked, are we only limited to discuss the title of the article? As Jeremy pointed out, she retyped the title of the article, not her own words, but the title. Or do we get to discuss the content of the article, which included all the defamatory information that may have been there?
What's the defamation? Is it just the text of the
Just
tweet,
the
or is it the
title.
whole article? And it was just the title.
And it was
just
agreed by the
text of
parties,
tweet.
and it was and I think this is where Amber's attorneys thought they won, but Johnny's attorneys actually won. They agreed to the proper sentence, which was just the title, what she had retyped. And all the pundits said Johnny just got the most unfavorable ruling
Jury
possible.
instruction possible.
He's going to
Because
lose.
it limited
He's gonna lose.
just to that sentence that she retyped.
But I've lived this life. I know for a fact when you think that you're instructing the jury in a way that's favorable to you, you're actually about to get poured out.
Yes, exactly.
You're about to get poured out. So don't
ever
think for one
that way.
second that you're getting a good result by giving
Don't.
special instructions to the jury. That's the worst thing you can do. Just don't even do it. Just say no. No, don't tell them anything. Let them mess it up themselves.
This is a common occurrence, right? The jury
It
comes
is.
back with a question, and then the judge and the lawyers meet, and they decide what answer to give the jury in writing.
And
Very
the judge
specific.
will give the lawyers the opportunity to decide amongst themselves what to do, because it gives you control over your case and over your appealability of the case. I've made the mistake now of trying to tell them what we thought was good.
Right.
In the future, I'm going to say, don't say a word to them.
Yeah.
And if one attorney says don't say a word, it preempts the other attorney from saying, tell them that. Tell
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
that special instruction. Nope.
So,
Tell them to figure it out.
I don't buy the
Enjoy.
argument that this has a chilling effect on legitimate domestic violence lawsuits. I don't think it does at all. I think it very clearly articulates the standard of truth and what you have to prove in order to say something like this about someone. I also don't buy what Amber said, that she thought she had a right to free speech, but apparently she doesn't. Because she's claiming she's protected by free speech, yet she won overcoming a free speech protection of Johnny's lawyer to say whatever he wants to in the media. Just like
That's-
Johnny Cochran.
just like his
Rusty
lawyer
Hardin,
said-
Gloria Allred. They all have press conferences.
No, I
All
think
the
it's
time.
ironic though. Her lawyer, his lawyer, in that article that was found defamatory, said that they were using the abuse claim as both a sword and a shield. In the same breath, she was using the First Amendment claim as a shield for her own liability.
I can say whatever I
and
want
as
to.
a
I'm
sword
protected.
against Johnny, you can't say whatever you want because you're a man. Go ahead, tell the world, Johnny. Tell them that you're an abuse victim. See if the judge or jury will believe you.
That was a compelling piece of evidence for
It's
me.
huge.
Cortland, why was that? Why was Johnny Depp held liable for something his attorney said, and why did his attorney not have free speech protection?
Well, the first bit's going to be just an agency question. That
is
when
that?
you hire someone to act as your agent, means they're acting on your behalf, then to an extent you're going to be responsible for what they end up doing while acting on your behalf within, I think, typical phrase is course and scope of employment for a lot of situations, but it translates here as well.
Do you think Johnny knew what he was going to say? Do you
No
think
frolic.
they planned it?
He didn't go on a frolic, right?
Yeah, no frolicking. But I don't think that it was planned out to any extent. I think it was more, I'm just going to go up on there and, I'm going to
Pop
build your
off.
case.
You don't think it was a carefully scripted message? Amber Heard with another hoax?
I've only read the transcript, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was carefully crafted, but to me it just sounds like something that the attorney crafted himself.
Okay, and why didn't he have free speech protection?
So here, it's honestly, it's a little murky because, like I said, there are situations where you have had other attorneys make similar statements and to have not been found to have lost their free speech. But here, I think that you did have a pretty clear example of, in addition to just not just saying that it was a hoax, but the specific facts that went into the allegation, which were subject to a protective order at the time that he wasn't even allowed to disclose, really played into it. So
This
that-
guy
So he
also
was-
got kicked
so
off
he
the
got
case.
popped off.
Was he
because
subject
of
of a protective order?
Yeah.
Because we do have attorney immunity in the course of litigation in Texas, and that is applied all the time. because in
Subject
the-
to a protective order saying
Wow,
don't say a word
wow,
about it, right?
okay.
A
Yeah,
gag-
apparently he was
a
under a gag order.
Yeah.
And he leaked information or revealed information that was subject to that gag order, and that got him kicked off the case. And then Amber Heard struck while the iron was hot and said, I'm going to file counterclaims against him for defamation, and she won.
She won.
Johnny
She did.
Depp, not
It
the
just shows
lawyer,
you,
was held liable for what he said.
As
Yeah.
an attorney, you have a very critical role, and you can make huge mistakes just by popping off.
Yeah, get kicked off the case and your client's held liable for
$2 million. I know
$2
$2 million doesn't sound like a lot in a 50 versus $100 million lawsuit, but $2 million is a lot.
That's
a lot of money.
Yeah,
a ton
is.
of money.
That
Well,
was all
so it's
Amber
gonna-
Heard's
That's a ton of money.
Aquaman was worth. It's
So-
just $2 million, not 100.
So it's going to
Sorry,
be an
Amber.
offset. I assume it's an offset on this.
It's gotta
on
be.
the-
They've got to negotiate out the verdict because apparently Amber Heard's broke. She can't pay any of her bills, her legal tab, this verdict. So Johnny's still got leverage over her, which I'm sure she hates, and
Yeah.
they're going to negotiate it out.
Okay. Well,
Maybe she
they'll-
can get the dogs from him.
Yeah,
They'll get
dogs.
the dudes.
And those
Okay,
sheets
guys, I
from
want to
the
go
bed.
through. I'm going to go around with parting thoughts about the trial. We're going to.
I love this.
So here
I
we
sent
go.
this to my wife last
Okay.
night in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First man in the world that wins a discussion,
Gotcha.
wins an argument with a woman.
Oh, you. That's
Oh,
you.
man.
All right. I'll start with Cortland, then I'll go to Taint and Jeremy with parting thoughts.
Those are thoughts. Make sure that your evidence is going to match what you're going to say on the stand.
Yeah.
They almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
That was the day they almost caught
almost
Captain
caught
Jack.
him.
They almost caught.
I love this because it's a chance to bring some interest and positive focus onto our profession. It's not always sexy or glamorous being a lawyer. There's a lot of dirty work that goes in. So to see the interest in a courtroom setting trial advocacy has been really exciting to me. I appreciate that everybody's focused in on lawyering.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think as an attorney, you have a sacred oath to perform and zealously represent your client. And I think both sets of attorneys did that. And I think that's important to our community and profession as a whole.
Yeah. That I
That
agree
they-
with
that they-
everything.
that, you know, you made the point, Miss Bredehoft asked the open question to the TMZ guy, and he popped off and said, I could say the same about you. This is your 15 minutes of fame taking on Amber Heard's case. And it was a crusher line from him. And she took it in stride and said, a little bit argumentative, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's a level of humility for an attorney at that scale to have, and a proud moment for her to have that humility in that moment.
Yeah, and Amber Heard's a difficult client from the looks of it.
It doesn't look like she's a nice client to deal with, that's for sure.
There was also a video that never got into evidence, and it was her sister talking to a group of friends about Amber beating up on her, and
Yeah.
how Amber's got this
Proclivity for
she's
violence.
she's got a
Some
temper.
violent tendencies.
She's got a temper. I will say that this is, this trial caught me by surprise. I kind of knew it was going on, but then when Sydney and Abby said, "Are you watching the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial?" I went, "Yeah, I saw that," and I watched a few segments, and then at the
You
very
stayed
end,
home with them to watch
I
the
really,
verdict.
yes, I really got hooked in, and it brought me in. And the only other trial in my memory is the O.J. Simpson trial that had
Yeah.
this kind of exposure. And I was thinking to myself, gosh, just think if they had played it on network television like they did the O.J. Simpson trial, this thing would have been even bigger.
The
but
30-second rundown, 30-second
Yeah.
rundown hot news. Okay,
Right.
first of all, we still know nothing about who Ghislaine Maxwell set up for child
Yeah,
molestation.
yeah, right.
We know nothing about
Yeah.
that
Is that
case,
how you say that
obviously.
chick's name?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine
yeah.
Maxwell.
We know nothing
Mistress
about who
for
they were
Ghislaine
running.
Epstein?
Yeah.
But
Ghislaine? Ghislaine?
But because they do have direct ties with
Oh,
the Queen of England
Taint
and,
knows
and
how
her
to pronounce
husband,
it.
you run it back to them. 70th Platinum Jubilee for the Queen. She's been the Queen for 70 years.
Yeah,
that's insane.
that's
That is.
awesome.
I want to eat her diet.
bless the
and,
Queen.
And I want whatever she's getting injected with because it makes
She's-
her last longer.
You recognize
She has
the Queen of
corgis.
Australia.
Sussman got acquitted.
Yeah.
Sussman got acquitted. That's why the jury verdicts came out. Time Sussman versus
I'll be
Johnny
darned.
Depp.
Isn't that something?
Way under the radar. Hillary
Yeah.
Clinton skated
And
free.
he fed all that
And
Russian
Elon
information
Musk
to the
said,
FBI.
if you don't want to
Ellen.
come to work for 40 hours a week in person, bye Felicia, you're out of here.
I love him, man.
good. You gotta
Elon,
crack the
whip. We never left the office.
Elon
He
Musk
skated
is
in
going to
this
be
trial.
my guy now.
Mollusk.
He,
Yeah.
Mollusk.
he
Mollusk.
skated in this trial.
Yeah.
He really
It could have been
did.
a lot worse for him.
Oh,
that's-
And
God.
Bruce,
that's all I've got
just
for you
to
guys.
answer you on the broadcasting O.J. Simpson, I like the way this court in Virginia did it. They
Yes.
provided limited access to one broadcast partner,
Yeah.
which was the Law and Crime Network, and I think it
It worked.
illustrates how everyone is watching content on streaming now. It wasn't on network TV; it was
Right.
on the internet, and
Right.
that's where everybody was hooking up to watch this play out.
Perfect.
You never saw any of the
You
jury.
never saw any of the jurors, and you never
Yeah.
saw any of the cameras. So I think they maintained some normalcy in the court by allowing this small crew and not the media
A great
circus.
job.
A
They did a
three-ring
great job.
circus nice
Yes.
without the circus.
Yeah,
And
great
yet-
job.
Yet everybody
Well
could
done.
watch.
All right.
Straight ring.
Hey, thank you guys. Really appreciate all of the evaluation of the trial. It's excellent. Thank you, Taint. Thank you, Cortland. We'll see you guys back at the office.
Good day, Taint.
Yeah, good day, Taint. Boy Wonder's got a mediation, and I got to go to court. So thank you for watching The Legal Fix, brought by the Tough Law Firm. Call us at 281-681-0808 or visit toughlawfirm.net or hit us up on the
Look
comments.
at that picture. We look so good.
Catch the past episodes and highlights on the website and YouTube channel. Connect with us on Facebook and Insta. And listen to us live on Spotify and 91.1 The Boss, Fridays at noon. I'm the big deal, Bruce Tuff, here with Boy Wonder Brandon Riley and Golden Boy Jeremy Lee Hall. We'll see you next week on The Legal Fix.
The Legal Fix.
The Legal Fix.